The Transformers franchise is known for one gimmick: robots turning into other things like vehicles, animals, and other stupid shit. But sometimes they create other dumb gimmicks to spice things up, no matter how bad the idea is.
Who will join me? Who will give up the power to transform to become stronger, faster, more alive?
Nope, but one gimmick that has stood the test of times are combiners, or gestalts if you're a nerd! Combiners are a simple concept. 5 to 6 guys turn into one huge guy to fight another huge guy. Their origins vary from Nexus Prime to the enigma of combination, or just bad writing to sell toys. Even though I praised combiners for being the most long-standing gimmick in Transformers, I'm gonna talk about 5 of them that suck a lot. Here are the rules. Enough talk. Let's say go!
Number 5.
In the episode Grimlock's New Brain, the titular character gains a titular organ and then decides, "Ah man, I really want to play God." And so he creates his own Silicon Valley boy band called the Technobots, all created from the remains of Unicron, the destroyer of worlds, who was created by this ugly monkey guy. But I don't want to get into that. These red shirts are Nose Cone,
Are you my father?
Strave,
Oh, it feels great to be a Technobot! My name's Stray!
Afterburner,
We're just gonna sit here or what? Let's do something!
Lightspeed,
Mellow out, Afterburner. They call me Lightspeed, faster than a speeding photon.
and their leader Scattershot.
Thanks for the assist, Lightspeed. We could have handled that two-headed monstrosity ourselves, of course. But this way was simpler.
All of them have different and unique personalities, but are not interesting or memorable on their own. Anyway, Grimlock sacrifices his smarts to give life to their combined form, Combutron. With their intellect, they defeat Abominus, the combined form of the Terracons, whom came out of nowhere. The pros I can give Combutron is that the idea of a big combiner who uses brain over brawn could be interesting, but in practice, he's the most useless of the G1 combiners.
Estimated probability of victory in 1-to-1 combat, 48.027.
It's sad that Grimlock got to make his own combiner team, and is the least popular one of the Autobots combiner teams. I think because people tend to favor Decepticon combiners more. The Technobots are just bunch of red geeks who turn into stupid sci-fi vehicles, and a bigger geek who talks like that one Star Wars robot everyone loves. Also, in the entire TF franchise, he's the most underutilized of the Autobot combiners. He did not get to appear in the original IDW comics as they were too busy making up new combiners like Skyrain, Optimus, Maximus, and Galvatronus. Are these real? Yeah, these are real. Although he did get a role in Machinima Combiner Wars. But the only thing people remember is he was voiced by Matthew Patthew.
What we do now?
Can a human actually punch down a tree?
But to be fair, he's not terrible. Combutron, not Magic Patrick.
The thickest show in gaming.
I went through a list of combiners to look for the bad ones, and I had nothing interesting to talk about. Like, one of them is a McDonald's toy. Y'all want me to rip on McDonald's? So I chose the least good one to start the list off very lightly before we would get into the really bad ones. So yeah, Combutron. Good idea, mediocre execution.
In Computron mode, Technobots have the computational ability of 200 supercomputers. When it comes to calculating odds, Computron rarely makes a mistake.
Yo wow blizz hojo quovlo kroll buckle.
Number 4.
Starscream, the treacherous second-in-command of the Decepticons and one of the most popular characters in the entire franchise. One of his greatest characteristics is trying to usurp Megatron and constantly failing. But let's focus on his other characteristics of gaining ultimate power and constantly failing. He has been a god, an angel, so on and so forth. But what about as a combiner? That's just the perfect combination. Ugh. That's right, he became a combiner in the comic book one-shot Transformers Deviation. a what-if scenario where Optimus didn't die in the movie, but instead Megatron died, causing Starscream to become the Herald of Unicron, where he dubbed himself Mechascream and combined with Thrust, Dirge, Astrotrain, and Soundwave. But we are not gonna talk about the awesome Starscream Combiner who has a crown and a cape. We're gonna talk about the one from Machinima's Combiner Wars, that show starring Honest Trailer Guy and Dashi Games. The summary of the plot is, you know what, I'll just let Dashi explain it.
The Council has the Enigma of Combination. They're gonna build an army of combiners!
Also, Starscream is in the Council and a good guy now, except not really, because he planned to gain ultimate power with
The Enigma of Combination!
Then he turns into a giant screaming head after he used
The Enigma of Combination!
on himself and fused with 3 other cooler Combiner teams and Computron, meaning this Combiner form has total numbers of 23, Jesus Christ! Last time when too many bots combined, they looked like this. But Combiner Wars was like, nah, let's make it look like the Polygon Man. They took the perfect and simple aesthetic of a Combiner robot and decided that Starscream should become like Andros from Star Fox. It doesn't even have a name. This sucks.
Oh my god!
Number 3.
I could start this segment being philosophical about the concept of terror, fear, and death, or I can show you the beast. Nope, not that beast, or that beast. This beast from the comic The Beast Within, the combined form of fan-favorite Dinobots. I don't have to explain who the Dinobots are, so I'll just say, finally, they got a combined form, and everyone hated it. Fans have criticized this form for its design by being the ugliest in Transformers history. The way they combine into this creature as the Dinobots contort and tear apart to become the beast. The sheer death and chaos as it doesn't recognize friend or foe. That in the end that the beast needs to be put out of its misery. Also, the universe this story took place in got destroyed by a thing called whatever. And even after the threat had been neutralized, it left the fandom empty and betrayed, as the chance of the Dinobots becoming a Combiner team was never gonna happen again. Such tragedy has never fallen on such a cause. Then they made Volcanicus, and now we can forget this whole thing ever happened. What was I talking about? Some beast?
Good day, LA Beast here.
Number 2.
Revenge of the Fallen is a dumb movie with annoying characters, underwhelming plot, and very, very bad jokes. But for me, the worst part of this movie is what they did to my boy Devastator, the very first combiner of Transformers, not counting train bots from
Diaclum.
But that's another story. In the 80s cartoon, he was known as this massive destroyer who brings terror and fear to the spark of Autobots everywhere. Even the most veteran of warriors shiver in fear by his name alone.
Prepare to meet your doom. Nothing can withstand the might of Devastator.
And he was gonna appear in a live-action movie for the first time. I wonder how his design is gonna look like. Shit. Yeah, this design is terrible. There is another combiner in this movie called Reed Man. That's a stupid name. And all I can say is he's made of balls that Raditz bars out for some reason. God, this movie's whack. But let's be fair here. Maybe he's gonna do something cool like eat sand, swing his enemy sword, fails to kill these two, and gets blown up by battleships. Hey, wait a minute. Well, never mind. This Abominaticus is much worse than I thought.
Number 1. Before we get into number 1, I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite combiners of all time, Liokaiser. Yes, Liokaiser, the combined form of the Breast Force
Boobies.
and major antagonist in Transformers Victory. Not only does he look cool and has a cool name, but he defeated Starsaber, the protagonist of the show, in his first appearance. Unlike most G1 Combiner teams who all appeared and combined in the same episode they appeared in, each member appear in individual episodes, so that the payoff of them becoming Lyokaiser is more satisfying. But what does Lyokaiser have to do with number 1 worst? Well, because Lyokaiser was Japanese exclusive, the European toy company Kent decided to redeco the Japanese toy, resulting in this. Wait, what?
I have several questions.
Why did they remove Hellbat and Skyhawk, arguably the best members of the
Boobies.
Force? What is with these names? Rescue Force 1, Rescue Force 2, and Rescue Force 3, and their combined form of Big Rescue Force. And last but importantly not least, where are his hands? And no, that doesn't count. How does this design make sense in the fiction? Is it a joke? It must be, because he's reminding me of that one episode of Panty Stocking Garter Belt, you know the one. But it says nowhere that this is a joke, cause if it was, then I wouldn't have put it as number 1. At least the other entries are
Welcome to Game Theory.
Fox McCloud.
Sand.
unique in their design. This is a lamer version of Lyokaiser and I hate it! That's it. Video's over. I'm done.
Whoa.